remember telling him that you wanted Josh Jr. to stay behind, but once you all got down there?
I've never told that guy. I don't even know him.
You don't even know him. You never told him anything?
No.
You never told him that Josh Jr. got his swing from his old man?
No. I don't know him.
You never told him you had...
I couldn't pick him out of a lineup. To this day, I've never seen this picture.
So you never told him that you and Josh killed Trey together to get even for the abortion?
No. I don't know him. This is a highly publicized case, and a lot of people just want to get on it.
Some people just can't help but talk, right? Some people just can't help but try to get their 15 minutes?
Well, every one of them wanted to try to get out. I know that. I read that in every one of them's statement. Every single one of them wanted help with the end of their sentence or with their sentence calculation.
But you are denying telling them all those things?
Right.
Okay. Nothing else?
Cross-examination.
You have not met me officially, but you've been in the room with me. My name is Cecil Smith, and I represent Joshua Young. In all believable lies, there's some truth, right?
Absolutely.
That's a life motto for you. Is that a fair statement?
I mean, it's the truth. In all lies, there's got to be some truth.
Otherwise, people won't believe it. Any of it, right?
You have to answer.
Yes. That's right.
If it hadn't have been for you calling detectives in Alabama, Joshua Young wouldn't be sitting there right now. Is that fair? You control people very easily. Is that fair?
Not everybody easily.
You find dumber people if you can't control the ones you're working with, right?
Makes life easier.
I suppose. Is tell the truth code for tell a lie?
Yeah.
There are some things that you do to convey that message. Wrong answer.
Sometimes you got to say it over and over until they say the right fucking story, but yeah.
And that's what happened in Alabama on the phone.
Yeah.
Is tell the truth.
Yeah.
I need you to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And your loyalty lies with me.
Mm-hmm.
You're real big on loyalty, aren't you?
Yeah, it appears.
And they know everything.
Yeah.
Angelique had no idea you were going to call her that night. Is that right?
No, nobody did.
Okay.
Not that night.
Okay. Let's just kind of go back through time, okay? How many times did you ask to see the body at Liberty?
Till somebody let me. I don't know.
And it was, I want to walk up in person, and then it was talk about a picture, right?
Yeah, I knew that. Well, he said they wouldn't let me go down there.
That was the coroner's decision, right?
I don't remember.
Another person had to be consulted with before that would be permitted, right?
Yeah, him.
Okay, and the coroner possibly, right?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? It's okay.
I don't remember. I mean,
this was not for purposes of identifying who it was down at the ditch.
Actually,
right?
he's the only one I remember their face being there was him.
Okay.
Because he said he was the lead detective.
You agreed with the prosecutor that you talked to a female detective, right?
I did. I just can't remember what she looked like.
Right. So you believe us when we say, yeah, you talked to this lady.
Yeah, in
right?
a room with Amanda.
Okay. You insisted Amanda remain for your interview.
Yeah, I just didn't want her out running around.
And the detective just let you do that?
Yeah.
Despite the fact the body had been identified, you persisted in trying to see it, right? You watched Terry Zwicker identify the body, right?
Yeah.
You watched Amanda react to Terry Zwicker's reaction.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I was next to Amanda.
You wanted to see what you did in broad daylight. Is that fair? And the facial imprint in the ground.
Well, I could tell that at night. You couldn't see it.
But you didn't see it in the daytime before, did you?
No.
Went back down there the night of the visitation to look at it again, right? Why you killed Trey may be in dispute, but you killed him, right?
Yeah.
You planned on killing somebody when you were sitting in prison.
I didn't think it'd be Trey.
You planned on killing somebody.
Yeah.
You had your vendettas.
Mhm.
More than one, right?
Yeah, but Angie died right before I got out, so Josh went into CPS, so I couldn't just get out and do what I was gonna do. I had to jump through a bunch of hoops and shit.
Okay. And you did that immediately when you got out. And you duped CPS completely. You did, right?
Yeah,
You convinced your parole officer you were living at an address you weren't living at.
Yeah.
Patsy Mays, is that your aunt?
Yeah,
Okay. So probation and parole always had her address.
always. Well, no, I switched my parole once I felt comfortable that Amanda wasn't a threat
Amanda was not a threat.
as far as me going back to prison.
Okay.
So I switched my parole to Gilmore Lane.
Gilmore with your home address is 1356 Bend Drive,
Right,
which is Amanda's.
right,
Which was your house at that point.
right.
You stayed at Amanda's when probation and parole thought you were at Patsy Mays.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had split up, got back together, split up, got back together, and then one of them times when we were split up, she said that she was going to call CPS and call my parole officer and all that shit. So I just got my parole moved back to Pat's. That way she couldn't threaten me with that again. If I stayed over at Amanda's, I stayed there, but I could always be legit with Pat.
CPS had Amanda's address, right?
Yeah, they come out to Amanda's.
That was a good front, Amanda's.
It
That
was.
looked like a really wholesome family.
It did.
That helped you get your son back, or get temporary custody back, right?
Right.
You duped them too. So we're talking probation and parole, moving on to CPS. That took some time, right? They weren't just going to let you have
The CPS did. The parole officer didn't. He was pretty much a rookie. You know what I mean? Said that he had never had nobody on that was locked up for as long as I was at one time and shit like that. And I appeared to be straight with him, you know, and he believed me, so he really didn't mess with me.
That by definition is duping somebody.
Well, then I duped him.
Okay. It just took a little longer with CPS. You had to jump through.
No, not really. I think after that very first meeting, they believed me. They, you know, I cried and shit like that. They believed me.
Okay.
But for years, Angie and all of them told them what a monster, you know, I was a monster and all this shit. So they
It was a fun challenge for you to just walk right in and calmly turn the superficial charm on, right? They liked you right away. Most people like you right away, right?
yeah. But my life is built on passion. It's either, you know, real good, real bad, real funny, real something. But it's real short.
When you went to Liberty, you knew that, number one, you had to show your face at that school, right?
Absolutely.
Or you were going to jail and you knew it.
Absolutely.
You knew Terry Zwicker would be standing there talking all about you, right? You
Absolutely.
saw him get in Russ's car and talk to Russ, Detective Russ, that is, correct?
Right.
You knew who he
I
was
could have told
talking
you that
about.
conversation without ever hearing it.
Okay? You saw him do that right away.
Yeah.
The moment that he got in the car to talk to Detective Russ, Detective Maroney, the lady that you can't remember what she looks like, starts talking to Amanda and then to you, right?
She talked to Amanda first
Right.
while I was outside smoking, waiting, seemed like fucking forever. And then I went in there.
And then?
I went in there but I told her I wanted Amanda to come with me, and she was like, "That's cool, just don't talk."
That
And
would
she was
totally-
blonde or brown.
That would totally taint the investigation if you're hearing what one another's saying.
Yeah, or it helps, depending on
Either
which
way,
angle you're coming
It's
from.
not proper, and she acknowledged that to you, right?
And she just said she didn't want Amanda to talk.
Okay. You knew that you had to go up there, correct?
Yeah,
We covered that.
Absolutely.
You knew that you could not be taken away in handcuffs from Liberty, right?
yeah.
Because you couldn't have your 5 minutes to make people like you and get your way, whatever
I
that
knew
is.
they wanted to put a mask on this monster.
And
Fast.
what you did was started talking about the niggers from Bridgewood.
Right.
That seems to tickle you. That was herring number one, right?
Yeah,
You had to have a red herring.
you got to.
There's a reason you didn't talk about your record at Liberty. Am I right?
Absolutely.
You worked it into your story.
Actually,
You couldn't say, hey,
No, I
now we're-
didn't. Actually, he was like, "Where do you live?" And I was at the time, all my shit was at Cassie's, and I just brought some back that afternoon, still on suitcases on the bed,
Sure, you added that later on.
Yeah, and then he asked me about my home placement and why I lied about that, and I thought I was probably fucked right there.
Another challenge, right?
Yeah, but it was unexpected
Those are no fun.
at first.
Well, yeah. The two statements you gave at Liberty, you pretty much talked nothing about seeing the body and the niggers from Bridgewood. Is that fair?
Seeing the body, I don't remember if I seen him before or after. I don't remember.
You talked about that throughout each of the interviews that you did at Liberty.
Yeah.
And who you were blaming for this.
Yeah, I know that part. Yeah.
Okay.
He let me see from the top. That's why I asked him, let me see a picture, because I figured a picture would be up close. I knew,
You didn't get to see a picture that day, right?
No.
Okay. And again, the whole point of mentioning the niggers from Bridgewood is to make sure you yourself would not be taken into custody. Because you can't turn on your superficial charm if you don't have the access.
Right.
Is that fair? You're not afraid to go to jail, right?
No.
I mean, you've served a lot of time, right? This wasn't about
Most of my
getting
life.
out of it or getting in it or anything else.
It was
wasn't that.
about buying time is what it was.
Okay.
Trying to let all the dust settle and shit like that.
Okay.
See if we can get past this first thing. It was
You pulled
stupid.
it off. You pulled it off. You walked away from Liberty, right?
Yeah.
You had the whole neighborhood about to start a race war over this.
Yeah.
Paranoia was pretty high.
Yeah.
You named
I
names.
figured there'd be other people get killed behind this, probably.
Did you hear that one almost did over this?
Yeah, not for months, but yeah.
Okay. 3 days go by. You, again, courageously, you have a big performance to do at Homicide, and you walked right in to Homicide.
Yeah, well, not right in. I tried to give him an excuse. Somebody, Amanda's uncle or somebody had just died that day, so I figured that would buy me a couple more days, but then
That was the end of the interview. You mentioned it again, right?
I don't remember. But he knew about it because he was actually at Cassie's house talking to one of them.
Right. And then came down and picked you up, and you...
Yeah, it was like, come on, man, just come on down. I'm like, fuck it, man.
You didn't know if you'd walk back out then?
I didn't think I was gonna.
Okay. But you did.
Well, it was more civil than I expected because of my record and everything else. I figured they'd know right off the
You
bat.
did
it
really
was
well
me.
that day. That was a pretty
I did.
decent performance by all accounts.
Thank
Do you remember having them laughing out loud towards the end?
Nah, I don't remember, but
Do you remember being told how well you did?
I don't remember.
Do you remember